HLN. HLN, we're about news and views. We want your view on the latest outrage concerning AIG. We were already mad enough that this company's taken in $170 billion taxpayer dollars to stay afloat. Then we're angered because they're giving away $165 million in bonuses. Now we're finding out Senator Chris Dodd help basically write the language in the stimulus bill so that these bonuses could go forward. Making it more upsetting is that he first denied knowing, now admitting to Dana Bash for sister network CNN that, yeah, he was in on it. Let's get a call in. Bob in Florida. Bob, welcome to the show.
Hello. I'm just thinking $100 million now or so and $200 million later. Do these people realize how many children this money could educate, how many teachers could get raises? Especially here in Florida, where education is actually being cut right now. You know, I'm a Democrat. I vote Democrat, but I think Dodd has to go, period.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
John Avalon, thank you for the call, Bob. John Avalon, will Chris Dodd have to go, to Bob's point?
Well, he's got a year and a half to try to undo the damage that's been done today. But this is a deep wound that's not going to go away real quick. We're going to be hearing this story reverberate and snowball for some time, because as Americans are losing their jobs and feeling the financial pinch, it's absolutely inexcusable and unexplainable to figure out how folks are entitled to taxpayer money to pay for bonuses when they failed so completely at their job. And he's got really no place to go. He's trying to shift some blame. We'll get more details about what happened with the administration and who was asking for this amendment and what the intention was. But sometimes the costs of good intentions can really spiral out of control, and this looks like that case.
Let's bring in Chris Markowski, Watchdog on Wallstreet. John makes a great point, and it comes off of Bob's phone call. How are we giving away bonuses to people who don't perform? If I stink it up, I'm gone. And that's the way it operates in the real world in most places.
Well, you want to trace this back. We can go back to 1999 when we repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, where we created all these financial supermarkets, where all these investment houses stopped serving their clients, stopped serving their shareholders, and became self-serving. Not even an industry. All it became was about basically enriching the executives. This is about, I've been railing against this stuff for years. We need to break these big investment firms up. Financial supermarkets have to go.
I'm going to read an email. This is from George in Colorado. Kind of summing up your point there, Chris, writing this. I don't understand why everyone is so shocked over AIG bonuses. When a company behaves badly and is rewarded, do you expect them to change behavior? Chris, that sums it up, right? They're in a different world, right?
As a father of three, I know this. If I'm going to reward my kids for bad behavior, they're probably going to keep doing it.
Yeah, there you have it. Drew Griffin brought up a great point. Again, Drew helped break this story. He's with our sister network, CNN Special Investigations Unit. Drew, as you have investigated this story, you brought up a great point. I'm going to shoot the question back at you. Where do you think this story is going to go? Because Dodd is now alluding to involvement in the administration. Do we zone in? Help us out here.
I think that is where it's going to go. I think, I'm guessing it's going to go into the Treasury. Senator Chuck Grassley, who's the high Republican member of the Senate Finance Committee, has already called for an Inspector General's report over at Treasury to find out what kind of communications were going on, whether or not Treasury was involved in writing this in, basically getting to the bottom of it. So I think that is where it's going. And when you're looking at Treasury, you're looking at Geithner.
Yeah. John Avalon, politically, the fallout obviously goes a lot greater than Chris Dodd. Let's talk Treasury and Tim Geithner. He'll be under the microscope, to say the least.
And he's been coming under a lot of fire recently, and some of the criticism has been unfair because he's dealing with an unbelievable array of challenges. But and everyone wants to see change right away, and that's just not the nature of this financial crisis. It's a global problem. It didn't get started in a day. It's not going to get solved in a day. But what's significant about this is that for the first time, you know, folks get angry about the excesses of TARP and pin the blame on the Bush administration. Well, this is the first time politically that folks are looking inside the Obama administration. So that's going to put a bit of blood in the water and add to a bit of partisan, takes on this scandal. That should not distract the American people from the underlying facts. This isn't about partisanship. This is about unconscionable bonuses and a loophole in the law that's been exploited, and you got to close it. You got to shut it down, and it's absolutely inexcusable. Not 1 cent of taxpayer dollars should go to bonuses. That should be inviolate.
Yeah, exactly, Chris, and that's what the folks are saying. They're calling in to echo John. you don't send my taxpayer dollars to $165 million in bonuses and bonuses to people who failed at their jobs. Chris, I asked you this before. I'll ask you again. Will we get that money back? Should we get that money back?
What we need to do is we need to focus on solutions right now. And the only way we're going to get that $170 billion, forget about that $160 million. That'll come back with it too. We need to sell off AIG. We got to break it into little pieces.
Okay.
It's got very profitable units and get that money back.
All right, let's go back to Drew Griffin. Drew, new information on this? What do you got for us?
I'm just reading this. You know, CNN has a ton of people working on this story. We're getting this out of CNN Washington, which is reporting Senate Banking Committee Chairman Christopher Dodd told CNN Wednesday that he was responsible for the language of the stimulus bill and that Dodd acknowledged his role in the change after a Treasury Department official told CNN the administration pushed for this language. The administration pushed for this language. Both Dodd and the official who asked not to be named said it was because administration officials were afraid the government would face numerous lawsuits without the new language. And I think the response to that would be, bring them on. Bring on the lawsuits. Why have that language?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get John Avlon's take on this. Kurt, we can keep going, right? Kurt's our producer. Push for this language. To Drew's point, I mean, is Dodd taking on the Treasury, taking on the Obama administration? Is he politically trying to save himself a little bit here?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he's trying to deflect blame from himself, which, you know, self-preservation is a perfectly normal instinct. But it's self-preservation that caused a lot of the problems we hear, sort of self-interested actions. Now, it's important for folks to understand that whatever Treasury official asked for this language, the intention was likely not to create a loophole that could be exploited by folks at AIG. It sounds like it was a defensive action designed to avoid future lawsuits. However, you know, the fact that that was deemed necessary, the fact that it doesn't pass the smell test to the average American, that calls in question judgment of whoever requested that.
Okay, guys, we're going to leave it there. Kurt, is that going to wrap up? Okay, real quick, Drew Griffin, thank you so much again. CNN Special Investigations Unit, Chris Markowski, John Avlon, thanks so much, guys.